అందరికీ నమస్కారం. వెల్కమ్ టు సుమన్ టీవీ. విశ్వాని ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ సిస్టమ్స్ అండ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్లో ఇటీవల లాంచ్ అయిన బిఎస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్, అందరికీ సుపరిచితమైన ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ని యాక్సెంచర్లో భాగమైన టాలెంట్ స్ప్రింట్ వారి సౌజన్యంతో, సహకారంతో చాలా అద్భుతంగా లాంచ్ చేశారు. ఇండస్ట్రీ స్టాండర్డ్స్కి అండ్ స్కిల్ బేస్డ్ ఇండస్ట్రీకి ఏదైతే కావాలో దాన్ని బేస్ చేసుకుని లాంచ్ చేసిన ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ చాలా సక్సెస్ఫుల్గా కెరియర్ ప్లేస్మెంట్స్ అండ్ గ్రోత్కి తోడ్పడుతుందని చెప్తున్నారు ఈ యాక్సెంచర్లో భాగమైన టాలెంట్ స్ప్రింట్ మేనేజింగ్ డైరెక్టర్, మనందరికీ సుపరిచితులు రోహిత్ అగర్వాల్ గారు ప్రస్తుతం మనతో ఉన్నారు. రోహిత్, వెల్కమ్ టు సుమన్ టీవీ.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so this looks like a very promising program. So tell us a little bit about how this BS program works, in collaboration with TalentSprint.
Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. It's a program that we have launched in partnership with Vishwa Vishwani Institute of Systems and Management. This is basically a collaboration between academia and industry.
Yes.
Where academia is represented by the institution, VVISM, and industry is being represented by TalentSprint/Accenture. TalentSprint is a part of Accenture. And the objective of this program is to create employable graduates, employment-ready graduates.
So true.
See, India today basically needs graduates with experience and skills, and not just with degrees. One of the biggest challenges that we face today as a nation is unemployment, right? If you look at the India Skills Report of 2026, it states that just about 55-56% of graduates last year have been employable. Now, that's a huge gap. It basically means that only 1 in 2 people are eventually getting a job.
So true.
Which is very stark.
Yes.
And we need to plug this gap. And the only way to plug this gap is to prepare graduates for the jobs of tomorrow, right? To help them graduate not just with a degree, but with the skills that the industry wants.
So true.
And that exactly is what the program does.
వరల్డ్ పాపులర్ బిఎస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్, యుఎస్ బిఎస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లాగానే ఇప్పుడు ఇండియాలో మన హైదరాబాద్ లో కూడా చేసే అవకాశం. విశ్వాని ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ సిస్టమ్స్ అండ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్, VVISM లో టాలెంట్ స్ప్రింట్, పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ యాక్సెంచర్ వారి కొలాబరేషన్ లో ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇండియాస్ ఫస్ట్ UGC అప్రూవ్డ్ AEDP ప్రోగ్రామ్, అప్రెంటిస్ ఎంబెడెడ్ డిగ్రీ ప్రోగ్రామ్, 4-year BS ఇన్ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్, UGC అలైన్డ్. ఇది అండర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్.
So if you can analyze 3 points why employability is so low in regular engineering graduates versus a BS program like this, which will perhaps offer 100% placement opportunity.
Well, so let me actually put it the other way. I can tell you what are the 3 USPs of the BS in Computer Science program that we have launched, right? Under the AEDP framework, right? This is a framework which expands as Apprenticeship Embedded Degree Programs, right? An apprenticeship/internship is integrated into the degree, right? So it basically helps you graduate with some real world skills. So let me talk about what are the top 2-3 USPs of this program that can improve your employment prospects, right? So I think the first thing that the program does is it imparts industry relevant skills, hands-on skills, right? Instead of a traditional theoretical based program, this program focuses on a lot of practical skills,
Right.
not just in year 3 or year 4, but starting from year 1. We have always believed that for you to learn or build any expertise, you need the best of both worlds. You need the right theoretical knowledge, and that should be combined with the right practicals. So you have to have a academic experience, and that's what the program does.
So academic is a very, very cool word actually.
Yes, and I think that's a core pedagogical principle that we follow, that we impart hands-on skills from the day one, right? In any of our programs. So that's the first thing, that students in the program will learn practical skills which the industry wants.
Right.
Second thing that the program does, it gives them industry relevant certifications, globally recognized certifications, right? The curriculum is designed in a manner that it's very flexible, right? The first 2 years focuses on imparting, computer science knowledge, right? Which is the base, the foundation for their graduation. But in year 3, we are going to teach them a specialization. Now that specialization could be in AI, it could be in cloud, it could be in cybersecurity, it could be in just anything else, right? We cannot really predict what the future is going to be 2 years down the line. We'll actually decide what specialization, and we'll give learners, students, the option to pick a specialization when they come in year 3. Right? So that's the second USP, that they will earn global certifications which are recognized by the industry, right? It could be a cloud certification by AWS, it could be an AI certification by some top hyperscaler, right? It could be a cybersecurity certification, which industry can really relate to, That's the second thing. The third and the most important aspect of the program is that in the final year, students are going to get the industry exposure. What this means is, having gone through 3 years of academic learning that we have already understood,
right.
in year 4, we are going to give learners an opportunity to get an apprenticeship or an internship with the industry.
Right.
Which means one whole year will be spent with a potential employer. You're actually going to work on industry projects with the industry.
And that automatically gives a possibility of getting employed
Absolutely.
right after that.
Absolutely. You can either be employed with the same company, right? I mean, it can be converted into a job offer, or at least when you go for your interviews at the end of year 4, your employers would know during the interview process that you've got 1 year of experience with some company, which is very, very relevant in the days and times that we are living.
So just a trick question, or a very difficult thing to answer is, why would you launch this in a more broad spectrum of students rather than launch it with a BTech program, this kind of academic program? So how is it different? So are you saying that those who enroll for the BS have a larger canvas because they are not coming with preconceived notions and that kind of a background, or?
Absolutely. I think one of the key things that I want to highlight here, underscore here, is that our curriculum is evolving with time.
Right.
We are not going to start with a rigid curriculum which stays the way it is for the whole of 4 years. Think about it. When internet came, it changed the way people behave, right?
So true.
When ChatGPT came a few years ago, overnight the industry changed. So we really cannot predict what the future is. So what we are going to do as a part of the program is bring in what is the most cutting edge technology in that year, which can help our students come out, graduate in the program, graduate out of the program, not just with a degree, right, but with the skills that will be relevant in that day, in that part of the time. Right. So that's why it differentiates from any other program.
Any other, you collaborating with an engineering school or, versus this BS program. I was told that this BS program can be an enrollment for students from various streams of intermediate education.
Yes.
So would you like to comment on that? Will that ever make an impact or a difference in what they do after the 4 years of BS, from an MPC versus a, NEET dropout versus, even another stream of education?
Absolutely. I think you've picked up on a very important point, right? The program's eligibility criteria states that you have to have any 10+2 education background, which means you've done 10 years of formal schooling plus 2 years of, class 11 and 12, or intermediate as it is called in this part of the world, right? To be able to get into the program.
Right.
We are not really differentiating between an MEC candidate or a BIPC candidate or a CEC candidate for that matter. The program is open for all, right? Like I've said, the 4 years of pedagogy and the industry exposure will take care of all the skills that you need to become employable, right? So it doesn't really matter which walk of the life are you coming from, what kind of a education you have done in your intermediate, right? This program will take care of all the foundations that you need. We don't need any prerequisites, so to say, to be able to, to be eligible for the program. It takes care of the foundations concepts, advanced concepts during the first 2 years. It gives you something really cutting edge in year 3, right? And you don't have to really decide what that cutting edge technology is going to be now. We will decide that 2 years later.
As you evolve.
Things are changing, right?
No, absolutely.
AI,
and you open new doors now.
Absolutely. AI may, I'm sure it's going to, like they say, right? Technology is rapidly changing. It is changing faster than the climate changes these days, right? So by the time you're in 3rd year, things would be totally different. So we'll prepare you for the technology at that time so that you graduate with what the industry wants.
That's really, really amazing that, you open doors for students of all streams,
right,
which makes this so-called IT or very happening field available for so many more students now.
Yes.
So tell us about the previous programs TalentSprint has offered, and how you have raised their employability, what kind of career prospects you have given to, people other than, from the BS program or...
Right. So TalentSprint has been in this space for more than 15 years. And now, of course, we are a part of Accenture, right? And Accenture, like you would know, is amongst the world's largest employers. We are the world's largest.
What is the employment size in Accenture? Just
well, you would be surprised to know that we've got around 800,000 employees, which is 8 lakh employees globally.
8 లక్షల మంది Accenture employees ఉన్నారట, and ఇంకా ఒక కొత్త వర్క్ ఫోర్స్ తయారు చేయడానికి కూడా there are vacancies available అని చెప్తున్నారు రోహిత్ గారు.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So we've got 8 lakh employees globally, right? And almost 3.5 lakh of those employees are working in India. right? And I'm sure close to 1 lakh or so in Hyderabad alone, right? So we are a large workforce. What that basically means is we know how the industry is changing, right? Being the largest IT services employer, white collar employer in the world, we know how this industry is shaping up, what are the different trends that are coming in, etc., right? And that really helps us bring in the best into our programs.
Gee.
Now, as TalentSprint, we have been offering various programs in the last 15 years, right? And our focus always has been to make our students employable from day one. How can you provide the industry with job-ready talent, right? Employment-ready talent. And that's what we have been doing, right? So in this 15 years of legacy, we would have trained almost, 2.5 lakh employees and launched their careers. We would never want to measure our success with the number of enrollments that we get. Of course, it's a business, right? End of the day. But then what matters for us is what's the impact that we have created? How many careers have we launched, right? And we know for sure that many of our learners, especially freshers who join our programs, right? Other training programs that we have, are probably first generation graduates. Their parents or their siblings have never been to a college, right? They have come out of a college without a job in hand, right? So by helping a candidate of that background, right, and helping them launch their career, with the right kind of education that we provide, right, through our boot camps, otherwise the boot camps that we offer, we are not just helping that individual, but actually helping the family, right? The entire family gets uplifted.
Yes.
So that's the impact that we've been creating over the years. And we've always focused on, careers that we have launched through our programs, right? Just to put some numbers in perspective, over the last so many years, our learner satisfaction scores, which is, I think, very, very important in our programs, has been on an average 80 on 100. In the industry, anything above 0 is considered to be good, right? But we are getting a consistently 80 on this scale, right? Which goes to show that people who graduate from our programs are very happy, and they're happy because they're getting the desired outcomes, right? It could either be a job if you are a fresher, it could be upskilling if you are a working professional.
Right. So what I see, especially in the BS program, is that A, it's more accessible. B, there's a lot of parallel learning happening. You're learning what's actually required.
Yes.
You're learning your management skills because you'll be learning to deal with teams.
Right.
You're also learning to adapt to complex problem solution approach.
Right.
And all this, so how do you convince your industry partners, when it comes to employability, that these students or this batch is ready? Is it for them to evaluate, or how does it work? I mean, to make your certification so globally accepted?
Absolutely. I think a very pertinent question, very, very relevant question. Well, I must tell you that the industry is already convinced that the kind of people they are getting out of TalentSprint, the kind of students they are getting out of our programs are already deployment ready. What I mean by that is they can be put in a project on the very day that they're hired, on day one. They don't need additional training by the employer, additional training by the company, right? And that has been a proven, capability that we have showcased over the years. And what also happens is, in general, when the recruitment partners come, see, we work with almost 1200 plus recruitment partners. There are 1200 companies which regularly hire from the programs that we offer, right? The programs that TalentSprint offers. And the same set of 1200 companies and even more are going to come in even for the hiring of the graduates from the AEDP program, the BS in computer science program that we are talking about. So when they come in, they will do their own assessments, right? We don't really have to go and push the students to say, these are the best students, please hire them. We don't need to do that, because they do an assessment, they conduct their own selection test and interview, and they see that it's clearly evident that these students have built a project.
Right.
See, one of the key things, what happens in our programs is also that we make sure that our students are building real projects which are showcaseable, right? They're not just going and claiming that I have learned this. They are showcasing that I have learned this. See, this is the project that I've made. And that's what the industry wants. And that's how the recruitment process happens.
I'm just surprised. आने वाले 4 सालों के बाद कितने वैकेंसीज होंगे शायद इस ऐसे BS प्रोग्राम के ग्रेजुएट्स के लिए दुनिया भर में?
दुनिया भर में काफ़ी वैकेंसीज होंगे. आई थिंक आई वांट टू टेल यू दैट वैकेंसीज की कोई कमी नहीं है, राइट? आई मीन देयर इज डेफिनेटली अ थिंग दैट AI is replacing so many jobs. That has always been the case with any technology. Forget about technology. Many decades ago, when washing machines were launched, people thought, अब हमारे जॉब का क्या होगा, right? What would we do? But has anything really happened? No. More opportunities have been created, right? And AI by itself is not going to work, right? It will need a human in the loop. And that human can be the students of our BS in Computer Science program, because they are going to graduate to be able to work with skills that will help them work with AI, alongside AI. So I think this whole narrative that it's very tough to get placed these days, to get a job these days, and AI is going to knock all of us out, is somewhere not true, not 100% true, right? I don't think AI will replace people. AI will, like they say, right, very popularly, AI will not replace people. AI will replace people who are not using AI, right? So you need to know how to work alongside AI to be able to do better in your jobs. And I think at this juncture, I also want to tell, it's not just about freshers. It's not about freshers alone. Look at working professionals. When ChatGPT came into picture and the industry changed overnight, everybody needed to upskill themselves.
True.
Today, we have tens of thousands of clients globally who are coming to us to help them train their own employees, right? People who have graduated many years ago have been working in the industry for 10, 15, 12 years, right? 10, 15 years. But then they do not know how this technology works, because this technology has come today. What
True.
they have learned many years ago is now become redundant. It's irrelevant. So we are helping not just students in our programs like the BS in Computer Science, but we are also helping working professionals who have been in this industry for many, many years now.
You know, what is the most reassuring thing, Rohitji, about, this program that you're offering, the BS and your other, upskilling programs? स्टूडेंट्स को पता ही नहीं कि कौन सा कोर्स करना चाहिए, कहाँ से करना चाहिए, क्या हम रेडी हैं कि नहीं, बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी छोटे मोटे इंस्टीट्यूट्स एवरीवेयर, बट व्हेन यू साइन अप विद अ प्रोफेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट विच इज ऑफरिंग अ वेरी upscale kind of a program, obviously they get the confidence that they are in the right hands.
Yes.
Because काफ़ी students they approach and they wonder कि ये course 3 महीना का कर लूँ मैं, हो जाएगा हमारा job मिल जाएगा,
Right.
and that will only perhaps take them so far.
Yes.
But this is like a career path you're carving out.
Absolutely. If you also look at the new education policy, there is
Right.
a lot of emphasis on industry and academia coming together.
I think it's high time.
Yes, academia alone cannot solve the problem. Industry alone cannot solve it either, right? They have to join hands, and that's exactly what is happening here. VVISM brings in the credibility of degree, right? The degree, of course, is going to come from Osmania University, right? It's an affiliated institution.
And it's a UGC approved program.
It's a UGC approved program, right? And the institution has got all the credentials that you would want, right? NAC A+, right? UGC autonomous, affiliated with Osmania University, right? So they've got all the credentials that one would look for in an institution. But what also comes in here is industry, and industry is Accenture.
Yeah.
Through TalentSprint.
Is it true that actually Accenture and TalentSprint experts are going to actually come and teach the students, or the students are actually going to go to the campuses of TalentSprint or Accenture and actually experience the environment there?
Very true. Absolutely true. It is the experts from TalentSprint and Accenture who are going to be coming and teaching, right? Because these are the people who are in the industry. So they exactly know what is the challenge today, right? It's not theory. It's a practical challenge that they're going to come and talk about and help these learners build those skills. And this skill and this learning will also happen at a TalentSprint facility, right? At a TalentSprint campus, which is currently in Gachibowli. So 2 years they spend on campus. They learn the foundations and the advanced computer science knowledge. 1 year they spend with TalentSprint, building some real world skills, right? The cutting edge certifications. And then final year, they get placed as an apprentice or an intern in
one of the big companies.
One of the big companies, which is a part of our recruitment network.
The BS program, this 4-year program, is nothing less than an engineering degree. In fact, it's more, if at all, because it's bringing you direct employability.
Yes.
However, there'll be many students who will want to go and pursue their higher education, in countries like the US, because it still has that aura.
Yes.
So how would the BS program facilitate that, this BS program?
Going for higher education after BS?
Yes.
It absolutely does. I think one of the big, points to be noted here is it's a 4-year degree program.
So which gives you that 16 years of education also.
It gives you 16 years of education. So students who graduate out of the BS in Computer Science program can very well go and pursue a master's degree in a foreign country with a foreign university if they would like to, right? This is going to be well accepted. It's not a 3-year program, right? It's a 4-year program, and it gives you all the skills that you really want,
Yes.
right? To either get a job or to pursue higher education.
So I have a very a direct question. If you don't like the question, we can edit this out. So we are actually a very biased nation.
Yes.
We are only now realizing and waking up that our curriculum is not relevant anymore, especially in technical education. But we still have the aura of big institutes in our country like the IITs and the BITS and those campuses. So this is a direct employability program vis-a-vis an IIT program which is so difficult to even get into. This is open for everybody,
Yes.
from all streams of education.
Yes.
Whereas there, even the technical students are not able to get through and they're struggling hard, studying for like 3 years, preparing for it. So you have a comment on that, Rohit Agarwalji, academician.
Well, so here's the thing, right? You're right that our program is open to all, right? Not just to students who have pursued, or students who have learned math, physics, and chemistry during their intermediate, right? It's open to all. When you talk about an IIT as an example here, this is an institute of technology. It's it's a classic IIT, right? And T there stands for technology. So
Right.
they would certainly want learners to have some background in math, physics, and chemistry to be eligible, right? But then I think, having said that, we also need to understand that there are only so many seats in IITs. Do you know how many people graduate from engineering every year in India? It's
Yeah,
1.5 million, 15 lakh graduates every single year. Can IITs accommodate so many students?
No,
Not really.
not
So
at
we
all.
need more institutions, right, and more avenues for to be able to handle the kind of population that we have, right?
Yeah.
And we need programs that can not just give them a degree, but give them the right skills. And I think this BS in
program.
computer science program is exactly doing that. We are bridging the gap between what the industry wants and what traditional institutes are offering through the traditional degree programs, right?
Right.
Be it a BTech program or any other program.
I'm not sure how fast the seats are filling up for this BS program in VVISM, but definitely I think this is one of the most sane, sensible programs which will actually directly take, not waste any part of the student's life, because the crucial years many times go in learning things which we may not need. I don't want to be biased on should not read, but may not need in future. And I think this is very tailored exactly to what they need.
Yes. I think I can give you a very simple analogy to understand this, right? Let's say you want to hire a driver, somebody who claims that he has learned to drive through books.
वो गाना भी अच्छा गाता है.
वो गाना भी अच्छा गाता है, right? Which also solves another entertainment quotient problem that you might have.
Right.
But then there's one person, so there is a candidate A and candidate B, right? Who's candidate A has got the knowledge of driving, and candidate B, on the other hand, has got knowledge, but then he has also got some experience, right? Proven experience. Whom would you pick up? So the point is, for a job as simple as driving, if you need an experienced candidate, right? Given a choice, not that inexperienced candidates are not getting jobs, right? But you would pick up a experienced candidate. Or let's take another example, right? I need to immediately look for a brain surgeon, right? A very complex job. I have two candidates. Candidate A, who's got a gold medal in his education through the university that he has studied in, right? And the candidate B, who's an average candidate. But then the candidate B has performed hundreds of surgeries. Who would I go for? I would go for candidate B, obviously.
So true.
So in the entire spectrum, right, whatever be the job, whatever be the kind of vacancy that you're trying to fill, you always look for somebody who has got skills beyond the knowledge, right?
Yes.
Beyond the degree that they've got. It's no different for IT industry, right? We talk to thousands of recruiters, like I've said, day in, day out. Their ask is very simple. Can you get me candidates who know not just through the books, to the degree, but who can actually, build real stuff for me? I don't want to be spending 3 months training them after I have hired them, because I'm already paying them salaries. So can you actually provide candidates to me who have got exposure into the industry even before I hire them?
But the good part in this BS program is that there is also a paid internship.
There is a paid internship, there is a paid apprenticeship, right? But I think I would like to tell everyone that not to focus on what kind of a paid internship it is. It doesn't matter.
It's just a motivation and a boost, because, students in their 3rd, 4th year, when they step out and say, okay, I'm able to now, I'm independent, it just gives them that kind of a morale boost.
Yes. What really matters is at the end of 4 years, you're starting right. You're starting with the right job, right? And you've been slotted at the right level, right? And that's what the program does, right? Whether you've got a 10,000 rupee internship or a 50,000 rupee internship doesn't really matter, right?
Correct.
Or an apprenticeship doesn't really matter because that's only for 1 year.
అవును కరెక్టే మీరు చెప్పినట్టుగా ఇప్పుడు ఇండస్ట్రీ రెడీగా ఉండడానికి విద్యార్థులు అండ్ 2026లో ఉన్నాం 2030కల్లా కూడా మనం అనుకుంటున్నాం ఐటీ జాబ్స్ తగ్గిపోతాయని చెప్పి ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఐటీ జాబ్స్ ఏ విధంగా విస్తరించి మార్కెట్ ఓపెన్ అవుతుందో మన ఊహకు కూడా అందదు. బట్ మనకు కావాల్సింది ఏంటంటే టెక్నికల్ ఫీల్డ్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఆ సన్నద్ధత చూపించడం, అంటే ఆ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ రెడీనెస్ చూపించాలంటే ఖచ్చితంగా ఇలాంటి బిఎస్ అంటే అకాడమిక్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ చేయడం వల్ల మీరు డైరెక్ట్గా క్యాంపస్ నుంచి జాబ్లోకి వాకిన్ చేస్తారు అని చెప్తున్నారు రోహిత్ అగర్వాల్. రోహిత్ అగర్వాల్ గారు మీకు ధన్యవాదాలు. ఐ థింక్ you've cleared a lot of our questions and doubts because people when they choose this program they need to understand that this is not just one of those quickly put together program. It's a very well thought out program which will get them into the industry right away, right as they graduate.
Right. And having been in this industry, on a closing note, I just want to tell everyone who's listening to us today that, if you're looking to start a career, right, be it in tech or non-tech, right, go after skills, right? Education, of course, is very important, but just graduating out of a college without really having the skills that the industry is looking for is not going to cut it for you, right?
Yes,
the competition is very tough, right? It's fierce, and you can only prove yourself by showcasing some real skills that you have developed, right? So irrespective of whether you join this program or not, irrespective of whether you're learning technical education or non-technical education, focus on learning real skills that you can prove to the world, because what the industry wants is the proof of capability. They're not just looking for degree and giving you jobs.
True.
So
Rohit Agarwal ji, I think very enlightening chat conversation we had, and I hope that students and parents re-evaluate what kind of a degree program they're picking up when this academic season is going on right now. And I think I thank you for coming up with such an innovative program which opens doors for people who are actually, a lot of students are lost because the mainstream very technical students going to medicine or the conventional engineering, at least they have a road or an aura already created, but the rest of them are not sure. And so many students attempt these entrances, and once they don't succeed, they don't know where to go.
Right.
But not that you should pick this up because you don't know where to go, but definitely this gives a proper direction as to what it lies ahead in the next 4 to 10 years.
absolutely.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Rohit
you so
ji.
much. Thank you for having me.
వరల్డ్ పాపులర్ బిఎస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ యుఎస్ బిఎస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లాగానే ఇప్పుడు ఇండియాలో మన హైదరాబాద్ లో కూడా చేసే అవకాశం. విశ్వ విశ్వాని ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ సిస్టమ్స్ అండ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ VVISM లో టాలెంట్ స్ప్రింట్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ Accenture వారి కొలాబరేషన్ లో ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇండియాస్ ఫస్ట్ UGC అప్రూవ్డ్ AEDP ప్రోగ్రామ్, అప్రెంటిస్ ఎంబెడెడ్ డిగ్రీ ప్రోగ్రామ్, 4-year BS ఇన్ కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్, UGC అలైన్డ్. ఇది అండర్ గ్రాడ్యుయేట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్.